Hello everyone. In today's video, we'll be taking a deep dive into value types and reference types in C Sharp. In C Sharp, value types are data types that store the data directly in memory as opposed to reference types, which store a reference to the data. Value types are typically stored in the stack, which makes them faster to access and automatically deallocated when they go out of the scope. While both stack and heap are stored in the RAM, it is that predictable nature of the stack which makes it faster for allocation and deallocation to memory compared to heap. So let's look at some of the differences between reference types and value types. Value types are stored in the stack and reference types are stored in the heap, and reference to the reference types are stored in the stack itself. Assignment copies the value for value types, whereas for reference types, both the variables will be pointing to the same value in memory. By default, value types cannot be initialized with a null unless they're declared as a nullable. For reference type, yes. Some of the examples of value types were structure, enum, integer, float, char. And reference types, classes, interfaces, delegate, arrays, and string. So in this code, I'm demonstrating how the call stack works. Let me start the debugger. On the left side of the screen, you can see that so we have the call stack printed along with its local variables. So in C# console application, the first method which gets called is the main method. We can see that the main method is pushed onto the stack, and typically main method takes the args environment, right? See that that gets pushed onto the stack. When I call method 1, so method 1 is pushed onto the top of the stack along with its parameter passed and the local variable which is initialized to default value, which is 0. Now we can see that when the variable c gets initialized, the same thing gets reflected in the stack also. So when method 2 is invoked, so method 2 is pushed onto the top of the stack, while we can see that method 1 and all its local variables which are in scope are in the stack itself. So we learned that assignment copies the value. You can see that I am trying to assign parameter a to the local variable ac. You can see that both have their place in the stack and their own values. Same goes for the next assignment. Here I am assigning AC to BD. See that changing AC value to 40 does not change A's value. So we learned that when variables goes up to the scope, they get removed from the stack. Let's understand this concept with the help of the if block. Now when the control enters if flag, you can see that variable d is pushed onto the top of the stack with the value 0. Now it gets initialized to 10. Same thing we can see it in the stack. It gets printed. Now notice that when the if block ends, the variable d gets popped from the stack. So now the method to finish its execution, and method 2 is removed from the top of the stack and along with its local variables. Now method 1 is on top of the stack. Now method 1 execution completes, which gets removed from the stack along with all its local variable. Now what we have is only the main method. So when the main method completes the execution, the program execution ends and the stack is empty again. Thank you for watching.